So you want to be prepared if you're drafting from the 10th position in your NBA fantasy draft. So in this episode, we will be conducting a 12-team mock draft from the 10th position on Yahoo Fantasy. Welcome to the Believe in Fantasy Basketball podcast. I am your host, Robin Marks. You can connect with me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Believe in Fantasy and at Robin Marks. If you love fantasy sports, please consider subscribing. We drop new episodes every single week. Now listen, you might be coming over from fantasy football because the season just started off and you're thinking to yourself like, what am I going to do now? My draft is completed. I have nothing to do. All I have to do is set my lineups, watch what's happening week to week. But the joy, the pleasure of drafting is over. Now, we are about to jump off a mock draft in Yahoo. If you haven't played fantasy basketball before, you have to play fantasy basketball. Like, it is the jam. And honestly, for fantasy football players who love to have that competitive, that competitive aspect of sports, it really helps to kind of satisfy that craving. So we are here waiting for our joint to jump off. We got about 2 minutes. While we do that, I just want to let you guys know that this episode is brought to you by the Fantasy Sports Shop on Etsy. Grab your exclusive fantasy sports swag today. And if you have ideas for the next drop, let us know in the comment section of this episode. Also, this month, we will be giving away a shirt to one of our community members. To enter, all you have to do is subscribe to our YouTube channel and comment the words free shirt. To take a look at what we have in stock, visit bit.ly/thefantasysportshop. Please note, to be eligible to win, you have to live in the United States for shipping purposes. So I am super hyped about this. Let me go ahead and just get my screen going. It looks like we got some humans in here. That's one of the big things for these mock drafts, guys. Since Yahoo opened up, ESPN is like a daggone ghost town. Like, nobody is there. Literally, I saw a tumbleweed rolling around on the floor. I was like, what is happening on ESPN? It is looking dry, arid, and stank. Like, it is just not the place to be. So we're back on Yahoo. As noted, if you've seen any of our draft videos, our mock draft videos, you know that we're going to be drafting from all 12 positions for points leagues. And then we're going to shift over to category leagues. So at the moment, we are finishing out our points league series. Let me just check here to make sure we're all good with that. Yes. Oh my goodness, I'm so hyped. And I honestly haven't mocked in a couple of weeks with so much happening at home. And also with the rebrand from Game Pick to Believe, it's just been a lot happening. So we are here. Oh my goodness, this looks beautiful. So I am in the 10th position. And in the 10th position, you'll have some really, really solid options. So it's not like we're going to be picking from the bottom of the barrel by any means. There's going to be value there. Looking at Yahoo's projections here, I have Basketball Monster loaded up on this side, and it seems like right at number 3 with Luka Doncic is where things are different. Where Basketball Monster, when you load up their Yahoo 9cat settings, SGA is actually number 3, where here we have Luka. And then number 4, we have Jason Tatum. And then on Basketball Monster, I have Anthony Davis. So it's a little different. But again, when you think about per game basis, you also have to take into consideration availability, right? Like, guys could sit there and have the greatest per game value, but if they don't play, it don't mean squat. It don't mean jack diddly squat. So a person like Anthony Davis, although his per game metrics are through the roof, when the man plays, he plays. However, does he play? Not really. He always gets hurt. They call him Mr. Glass. He's like literally gets a hangnail and he's out. Lord forgive me. Let me stop. I'm not going to go there because, you know, I told myself that this season I would take it easy on Anthony Davis and Kawhi Leonard as the channel is growing. The proximity of Anthony Davis hearing about what we talk about in the fantasy basketball world might come back to haunt me. The last thing I want is the brow pulling up to my crib like, yo, what you say about me, dog? So I don't want no beef with the brow. And I always, you know, I always say that I do make fun of some of the players, but it's all in good fun. I want no smoke with the brow. So the draft is on and popping. Nikola Jokic is off the board as usual. If, disclaimer, and like pay attention to this. You don't have to write it down, but you got to pay attention. If you are drafting from the first position, don't get cute. Draft the freaking Joker. Like, don't mess around. People out here in these streets drafting like SGA first. They drafting Embiid first. Halliburton. Come on, man. I'm in a dynasty draft the other day, mock dynasty. Somebody drafted Victor Wembanyama over the. I'm like, listen, I don't care if it's dynasty, redraft, he draft, she draft. Take the Joker. After the Joker, we had Embiid, Halliburton, Tatum, and Doncic. So let me start lining up what I'm going to do here in this 10th position. For points league, I really like Kevin Durant. I like Giannis here. I have concerns about Damian Lillard, especially with the potential trade to Miami. I'm sure his value will be impacted, so I want to be mindful of that. But for me, I'm leaning towards, it looks like Giannis is still there. I'm going to take Giannis, yo. Like, again, this is a points league draft. I'm drafting with a points league state of mind right now, and I am taking Giannis with the 10th pick. Like, this is, what are we worried about? In a points league, I'm not worried so much about percentages, field goal percentage, free throw percentage, 3 points made. I might be, but like, I'm taking Giannis. Like, what's happening? All right, so I'm going to be drafting really soon. So let me get focused. Damian Lillard still on the board. Mr. Glass, a.k.a. Anthony Davis. I'm sorry, bro. Don't come to my crib. Jaren Jackson Jr., Devin Booker, Anthony Edwards, Fred VanVleet, James Harden is all the way down. Holy guacamole chips. Where is he on Basketball Monster? These projections are always really fun to compare to see what's happening. But, you know, let's see. Let's get funky fresh and see what my man over here in Yahoo, I launched the draft assistant because I have the Fantasy Pros plugin. That's really cool to see what they have going on. I want to see if they, I don't know. It's available next preseason. So why they got the daggone plugin here? Get out of here. Let me do the recap, y'all. So after I'm up, let me get focused. So Damian Lillard on the board, Anthony Davis on the board, Jaren Jackson Jr., Devin Booker, all on the board. See, I have concerns about Damian Lillard, but I don't have concerns about getting Damian Lillard in the second round. He's first round value. He's going to provide first round value in most cases. And even if he takes a hit when he gets to Miami, if he in fact ends up in Miami, it ain't going to be a whole round worth of value. It might be a few spots. So if I can grab my man in the second round, shish kebabs, he is mine. He is mine. It would be dope if there was like a draft board option here on Yahoo. Is it just me? Because when I'm scrolling these daggone names over here on the side, and I've been on the record like trying to do it, like I've said on all of the Yahoo mock drafts that we've done, that I'm going to step back from doing the recaps and just focus on the team that I'm building, because this automatic scroll, it's like just going. It's just going. Like anytime someone's picking, I cannot get a word in. So I'm going to try to do a quick recap. So after Luka at 5, we had SGA at 6, Steph Curry, Durant, Ball at 9, Giannis at 10, Kyrie at 11. Very interesting. Trey at 12. Anthony Edwards at 13. Fred VanVleet at 14. I grabbed Damian Lillard at 15. Booker, Davis, Jaren Jackson Jr., Mikal Bridges, Donovan Mitchell, Harden, Sabonis. Okay. And again, folks, we are drafting with a points league state of mind. And some of the drafters in here might be drafting for head-to-head categories, which is cool. You know, in our category league drafts, we'll shake things up a little bit. After Sabonis, we had Karl Anthony Towns. Karl Anthony Towns, like, I think I've been on the hilltop saying, like, I'm still about Karl Anthony Towns and I'm drafting him earlier. But the more I do the research on what folks are saying out there, I'm having doubts, man. And you know, the biggest thing for me, it's not so much my peers. It's not so much the writers, the other analysts. It's your man's podcast tour. Yo, Karl Anthony Towns is on the record. I'm paraphrasing here. He's on the record saying that he's like the best big man ever or something like that. I have the quote somewhere, but he's talking crazy on this podcast tour he's taking. Like, just play, my guy. Like, just show us what you can do on a court. Anyway, my pick is coming up soon. On the board, we got Desmond Bane, Paul George, LeBron James, Jalen Brunson, Drew Holiday, Bam Adebayo, Nikola Vucevic. Let me pull up #basketball's points rankings. Let me take a look at that. So for points rankings, we got, and this is 2023-24. Joey is going off. Big shout out to Joey Mamone from #basketball. For Yahoo, let me change it up to Yahoo. Yeah. For Yahoo, LeBron is number 11. But again, that's per game basis. You got to be concerned about his availability he's pushing 40, y'all. 4-0, the Sean Kemp number year. Like, your man is pretty old. But, I mean, listen, 65 games of LeBron James might be worth 82 games of somebody else. And according to these rankings, he's 11th. He's staring me in my eye. People are passing on him. And you know what? 9 times out of 10, he's on the cover of my thumbnails on YouTube. So I'm drafting the king, LeBron James. All right. So these rankings here for #basketball are super interesting. Very interesting stuff. I'm going to target, perhaps, in this next pick, someone down the lines of a Chet Holmgren, Walker Kessler, maybe, if he's available. Really like Jaylen Brown here. OG Anunoby. Also quite interested in Julius Randle. I'm up. I'm going to try to get Julius Randle in the 5th. Right now, I got Jalen Brunson looking me in my eyes. Where do we have Jalen Brunson? Oh, no. They did Jalen Brunson dirty on those rankings. Darius Garland. We'll grab us some Brunson. And then I'm going to be targeting his running mate from the Knicks, Julius Randle. I really like Julius Randle in points league, y'all. Your man is a beast. And I slept on him for a while. I think it has something to do with me being from New York, moving to Atlanta. Then it was like this whole feud between Atlanta and New York when Trae Young was hitting them with the burr. I don't know. I think Julius Randle is a pretty solid points league guy and someone I'm checking for. If you have doubts about Julius Randle, please let me know in the comments what that stems from. Does it stem from a relocation? Are the blinding orange and blue colors too much for you from the Knicks? Like, what is your reason for hating on my man, Julius Randle? So we are up in a little bit. Again, I'm targeting Julius Randle, Jaylen Brown, Jarrett Allen even. I really like Jarrett Allen here. Also quite interested in Paolo Banchero, Zion, and Ja Morant. Zion and Ja Morant. I could do a whole episode on Zion and Ja Morant. Your man Ja Morant out here squandering his blessings, like getting on live with the blicky. But again, I don't want no smoke with Ja. So if anybody sees Ja, hears from Ja, tell Ja I said, do your thing. Be free. I don't want no smoke. However, we got to speak about, how Ja is like squandering and like possibly throwing away his future with all of this madness. We need you on the court because we love watching you play. Ja, honestly, for a year or two, is probably my favorite NBA player. Like box office excitement. My family, I have a 5-year-old daughter. My 5-year-old daughter, because I talked about Ja Morant so much, knows about Ja Morant. So listen, I pray every day that my man Ja Morant gets it together because we want you on the floor. And also, I think you have the opportunity, or he has the opportunity, to impact a lot of people. For Zion, like, yo, he got some drama. He got Kardashian drama, but it's like Instagram models, not necessarily a Kardashian. He got like baby mama stuff. But the good thing is that the shorty's got him super motivated because he is in the gym, like looking all chiseled and stuff. Like he's really preparing to kick some butt this season. So for Ja and Zion, when it comes to these drafts, if I could grab Ja later on, maybe like a 5th or 6th round pick, I'll consider it for a points league. For a category league, I'm not really interested. It looks like somebody grabbed my Julius Randle pick. That sucks. Jarrett Allen still on the board. Scotty Barnes, Alperen Şengün, Bradley Beal. I'm looking at Jarrett Allen here. I really think he'll continue to put up the numbers that you need in a points league. As you know, blocks are heavily weighted. So that's an area where he'll help you. And also, I just think overall, he's a solid fantasy producer. To grab him in the 5th round, I think is tons of value. Then I'll be coming back around on a turn. I'm going to be eyeing Bradley Beal here. Also going to be looking at Jalen Green, Zion Williamson. I think I'm going to just take the leap and go with Zion because they're saying he's a game time decision. I see he's working out in a gym. And for points league, he probably would go in the second or third round here. He's dropping this far because folks are drafting with a category state of mind. But your man here is building a points league team. So I'm gonna grab me some Zion. You know, he is a beast, like literally a monster. So let's see if we can actually do a little recap action here. I'm gonna try my best. Don't judge me because this joint, man, when I tell you, I'm be scrolling fast. So I think we were right at about 14 with Fred VanVleet, Lillard, Booker, Davis, Jaren Jackson Jr., Mikal Bridges, 20, Spider, 21, Harden, Sabonis, Towns, Turner, Leonard, Murray, Butler, Markkanen, Siakam, Wembanyama. Give me 1 second to get this back up. Bane, Fox, George. I would kill for a draft board. I'm gonna reach out to my man Dan Titus from Yahoo and see if we can get a draft board here because I would love a draft board. After LeBron James, we had Holiday, Cunningham, Ingram, Holmgren, Brunson at 39, 40, Jamal Murray, Garland, Adebayo, Mobley, Vucevic, Kessler at 45. I love that pick. Brown, Levine, Lopez, Paul, Anunoby, DeRozan. Williams, woo, love it. That's Williams, Jalen Williams from the OKC Thunder going wild early. I am loving it. That's dope, man. People really believe. Porzingis, Maxey, Claxton. After Claxton, we have Randall, Banchero, Allen, Poole, Cam Johnson, Barnes. Cam Johnson went before Scotty Barnes. It's wild. Ayton. And then I drafted Zion Williamson. John Morant goes right after him. Giddey, Şengün, Porter, Derek White, Beal, Gobert, Grant, Wagner, Hero, Capella, Hield. People always ask why I'm so tough on Tyler Hero. I mean, I just don't care for him in fantasy. I'm not saying he's a solid guy. Sometimes with this, you just kind of develop your own opinions about players in this game. And he's just not one of my guys. He's not somebody I want on my roster. If somebody sends me a trade and was like, yo, we're going to send you Tyler Hero. If you could send us back Aminu, I might say no. I possibly might be just so if GP be like, nah, get out of here. What is he injured? What's the trick? What are you doing? So I know folks like Hero. I mean, I get it. I understand, but not me. After Hero, we had Capella, Hield, and I'm up. Man, it looks like they scraped the bottom here, man. It looks like things have changed tremendously. So I definitely am looking at Kyle Kuzma here for a points league, especially. He's going to kill this year. So I'm just going to grab me some Koozie Boozy. Back to the recap. We had Capella after Hero, then Hield, Vassell, Mitch Robinson, Dan Gafford. I love me some Dan Gafford. Jalen Green. Oh, Jalen Green went late. After Green, we had Rozier. Then we had Middleton. Ooh, he went late. Kuzma, Wiggins. They're like almost the same player at this point. Like Wiggins and Kuz kind of in that area. Ooh, I see John Collins still lurking. I might just grab me some John Collins. Because people out here sleeping on John Collins, not knowing what's going to happen in a new environment. And don't get me wrong, even in Atlanta, he still produced at a level that would, make it okay to roster him. But oh, somebody grabbed him. See, like, hey, we got some smart folks up in here. Austin Reeves looking me in the eye. Miles Bridges. I love the comeback of Miles Bridges. I think that's a story. Listen, I always say, like, what you do off the court, I'm not gonna be like taking it, holding it against you in the court of basketball. So I'm drafting Miles Bridges. In fantasy football, I also picked up Deshaun Watson in a dynasty league off the waivers and held on to him for a year while people were like, how could you do that? Like, Deshaun Watson is such a creepo. Get him off your team. And I'm like, all right, whatever. Now he's back. Same thing with Miles Bridges. Like, hey, how could you do that? He you know what he did? Like, I don't know all the details, but I know one thing. Like, I don't have to support someone's like personal decisions and their real life morals for me to draft them in fantasy. Like, there are so many like questionable people in basketball. Like, mad people are accused of all kinds of stuff. Now I get it. Like, I definitely in my day-to-day life do not support or condone any of those activities, but I'm playing fantasy. So I'm not going to like skip on him because he made some critical mistakes in his life. I would also say that he's going to have something to play for. He's going to, Miles Bridges had a bag coming to him, y'all. When I talk about a bag, he didn't have like a little Louis Vuitton bag. He had a garbage bag coming to him, a huge bag. He was about to secure a crazy contract with Charlotte, and then that incident occurred that led to him being suspended. And now he's back. So he's going to be playing with a vengeance to try to prove not just to Charlotte, but to other NBA teams that he's worth a long-term NBA, max type contract. So listen, I am ready to see what Miles Bridges does. So we're going to try to do a bit of a recap here. After Middleton, we had Kuzma, Wiggins, Jones, Tyus Jones, that is, Yakapurtle, Collins. Ooh, I love that pick. I grabbed Miles Bridges. Then we had a Keegan Murray, which I like. That's a good pick. Jones, Smart, Henderson, Russell, Fultz, Rob Williams, McCollum, Anthony Simons, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green. And we are all caught up. For my next pick, I'm up in a little bit. I'm looking at Austin Reeves. If people can continue to sleep on him, I might grab him there. Also interested in Onyeka Okongwu. Capella, listen, I'm in Atlanta, so I know what I listen to, like the sports radio here. Listen, Clint Capella gonna get hurt. God forbid, like I don't want him to get hurt, right? But history proves and shows that Clint Capella will get injured and Onyeka Okongwu will get some run. When the young man gets in the game, he goes off. So drafting him at this point in the draft, I'm okay with, but also he has standalone value. Even in a few, like 20-something minutes a game, he could still provide you with some value there. So he's someone I'm looking at. Also looking at Aaron Gordon. Like, listen, Aaron Gordon is another one of those guys that I never really was interested in fantasy. I didn't really pay him any mind. But last year with the Nuggets, your man was putting up killer numbers, like really a heck of a return on his on his draft capital. So I'm looking at him too. So we got Aaron Gordon here. Russell Westbrook is still around. Russell Westbrook for a points league, man. Y'all better get with the program. Like, he's another one I'll be looking at. I'll get him on my next pick if he's available. But I'll go ahead and grab me some Aaron Gordon right now. I love Aaron Gordon here. So far, so good. Feeling okay about the draft so far. Let's see if we can get back to that replay. or recap, I should say. After Draymond, we had Wendell Carter Jr., Jalen Duren, Reeves, Austin, that is, Jabari Smith Jr., Shaden Sharp, Onyeka Okongwu, Ben Simmons. Ooh, I love the Ben Simmons pick. Aaron Gordon, Nurkic, Tobias Harris, and Bobby Portis. The thing about Ben Simmons is that you drafting him in the 10th round, even if he flops and he turns into a drop, like, it's okay. It's something that you can actually get. You can lose that investment and it won't hurt your team too much. I think it's something that you have the ability to still capitalize on, waivers or something like that if he flops. But the reward is so high. Like, he was performing like a first, second round guy before the debacle in Philly. So he is, in fact, the type of player that can be a game changer for you in your fantasy squad, on your fantasy squad. So I think drafting him, I see him going 9th round, 10th round. For category and points leagues, I'm seeing him go, and people are stashing him because they don't know what to expect from him. And honestly, if I was a betting man, I would say he's not going to be like the first round, second round Ben Simmons that we grew to love and appreciate for fantasy. I think, though, he will provide, if he plays, some like 5th round value, maybe even 4th round value. He gets you assists. He gets you some defensive stats. Maybe not so much with the scoring and the points, but he's a triple-double machine. Like, he is someone that I would definitely be targeting in those later rounds. So we are in the 10th here. Keep pushing through. See if I can get back to this recap. This daggone slider be giving me all kinds of trouble. After Simmons, we had Aaron Gordon, Nurkic, Harris, Portis, Zubac, Westbrook, Williams. I just had a really good discussion with someone about Mark Williams from Charlotte. Like, he's somebody we want to pay attention to. Jonas Valanciunas, McDaniels, Christian Woods recently signed to the Los Angeles Lakers. Exciting. Keldon Johnson, Spencer Dinwiddie, Kyle Lowry, Gary Trent Jr., and Jordan Clarkson. Man, so I am up in a few picks. I'm going to be looking at... no, this is where it gets yucky, man. This part of the draft, like, once you get like 11, 12, it gets kind of yucky. So I am definitely looking at people. Man, I don't know what I'm looking at here. I'm looking at like nothing exciting. Honestly, I'm looking at wrapping up this draft early because I'm not having fun anymore. Let me see. Whoa, man, this is gross. Let me go to my rankings over here. Oh no, I'm up. So Emmanuel quickly, RJ Barrett. Again, I am drafting for a points league, so RJ would bring some value there. Sadiq Bey. I don't think I've ever drafted Sadiq Bey. Herb Jones. Let's just grab RJ Barrett. Man, I don't believe I'm doing this. I don't believe it. It's going down. It's going downhill from here. Let me see if I can dig in the crates here and find someone that will bring me some value. I got... Man, Tim Hardaway Jr., Darius Baisley, Bones Highland. Man, this is crazy. Precious Achua. Oh, Achua, Noah. Jeez Louise. Man, these are the witching hours down here, man. Kendrick Nunn. Oh, no. What's happening? Okay, so looks like Al Horford is available. Sadiq Bey. Steve Adams, I'm okay with. Norman Powell. Rashawn Holmes, especially with Christian Wood heading over to LA, could be interesting. I'm going to go ahead and just try Rashad Holmes. Man, that felt bad. I felt really bad saying that. Trey Murphy is someone I'm taking a look at as well. I know he recently had an injury. Is he still available? He looks like he's still available. So what's his situation with his injury? He has a knee. He's dealing with a knee injury, at least a slight meniscus tear, and evaluating surgical options. Oh, no. Murphy sustained a meniscus injury in his left knee, was evaluated whether he'll require surgery, but appears likely that he'll need some sort of procedure. The team reportedly has significant concern regarding his injury, and his return timetable would depend on, oh no. And shoot, I'm out on Trey Murphy. But is my man still there? What's my man's name? What? Hold on. Norman Powell, Tariq Eason. That's who I'm looking at. And I just wrote an article or a contribution. I made a contribution to a recent fantasy roundtable article, and my sleeper guy was Tariq Eason. So I'm gonna practice what I preach here and grab me some Tariq Eason. But it's really sad about Trey Murphy. I guess that boosts Herb Jones's value. Is Herb off the board? Yeah, Herb is off the board. Yeah, that would boost Herb Jones's value a bit there. But I'm definitely going to be... Did someone take Tariq Eason? Shish kebabs. Maybe... Hold up. I shared this link in the Discord. Excuse me. I shared this link in our Discord. I believe my daggone community members are sniping me, which they often do, which is okay because I'm happy that you guys are listening. But God knows I wanted Tariq Eason there. So my contingency plan here looks like this is going to be my last pick. So let me get funky, fresh, and fun for my last pick. There we go. Brandon Miller. If somebody snipes Brandon Miller from me, then I know that y'all up in here in this party with me today. Let's see what we got. It looks like everyone left here are all humans. Yes, Brandon Miller is mine. Coming on home. Coming on home. Excited to do my yes, no, maybe recap on these players that I grabbed. Man, I think this was a pretty good draft at the start. I think towards the end, in those witching hours, it got a little messy, but what are we going to do? That's the reason that we're here. If you are listening or watching, it's because you want to win in fantasy basketball. To win at fantasy basketball, like everything else, you got to put in the work. That's something that I stress to people. You got to put in the work. You can't just expect to win. You got to actually put in the work so you get better. So let's go ahead and do a recap. And this is not in draft order. I'm just going to go through the positions of the people that I drafted, and I'll give you a yes, no, maybe rating. First up, I got Damian Lillard. Yes. RJ Barrett. Heck to the no. Jalen Brunson. Yes. LeBron James. Maybe. We'll see if he stays healthy. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Yes. Big yes. The capital Y. Zion Williamson. Maybe. Jared Allen. Yes. Rashad Holmes. Maybe. Kyle Kuzma. Yes. Miles Bridges. Yes. Aaron Gordon. Yes. Russell Westbrook. Maybe. Brandon Miller. Maybe. We'll give him a maybe as well. Folks, man, this has been super duper exciting, fun, just to kind of connect. Again, we're going to try to do a bunch of mock drafts as we close in on the start of the NBA season. Listen, if you need help with your team. Drop your questions and your comments below. I will respond to every single comment. If you're looking for a community that you will build with, connect with, and just feed into, and they will pour into you so you could win your league championship, you have to join our private Discord server of over 1,200 fantasy basketball fanatics. All you have to do is visit believeinfantasy.com to sign up for free. And don't forget, play the waivers, set your lineups, and check out the next episode, you freaking fantasy nerd.